Welcome back to Super Metroid. Last time we escaped our cage that was Lower Brinestar and Upper Norfair. Finally got the ice beam so we could freeze our way out of it and make our way forward. We now have the power bombs as well. And there are a lot of things that we can get with power bombs. There are also, or I should say, before we do that, I want to take a look back at this room. Because it looks as though you can't get across this room without collecting the item that lets you go through, move along the top blocks there. But you can. Actually, there are no less than 3 ways to do this, and we currently have access to all of them. So the first way is by doing a short charge. If I can do it right. There we go. Nice and easy. As long as I don't boost into a wall, it's not hard. That gets you to the missile, and even gets you on the other side. Whoops. Now, there is an additional trick that you can do beyond this that I have only ever been able to do with tools, but it's very possible in real time, especially for the high-end runners. And that is by taking your charge, and I did the boost from the previous room into this room and across. But if you walk into this room with it, shoot a super missile across, and then boost across yourself at a very specific timing. You have to use a super missile because it moves fast enough for this to be possible. It moves faster than a regular missile. The super missile will open the door on the other side and let you continue your Shine Spark out that door and across the entire next massive room. Hard to do, but that's the thing. There are other ways to do this, though. A third way, that was the first way. A third way is horizontal bomb jumping, and good luck with that. I have never been able to horizontal bomb jump. But I'm going to turn off high jump and speed booster for the next one. Where you butt up against this door and run in. First try, heck yeah. That's called the continuous wall jump, and it requires a very specific setup. The first jump is frame perfect. The second jump is a 2-frame window. And using this setup, there are other setups, but this one gives you this one is easy enough to set up and is a 2-frame window on the second jump. The only downside to this, of course, is if you mess up, you fall into the water, and it takes forever to get out. Explaining how you do this requires explaining a little bit on how wall jumping works, so I'll get into details on that later in this very episode, actually. I'm going to talk more about a lot of stuff this episode. I'm going to talk more about speed booster, wall jumping, a whole bunch of fun stuff. But it's done by effectively doing your first jump and then wall jumping off the right-hand side of the item pedestal in the center and continuing on. And this is done by being above the pedestal 1 frame, and then on the next frame being on the right-hand side of it, but close enough to it to be able to register a wall jump. That may make a little bit more sense later. Anyway, those are 2 things. I have so much trouble with the I did turn everything back on. I have so much trouble with the continuous wall jump. Yes, I understand that I missed an item down the place. I'll get it later. First, we gotta come back out here, because we're gonna get more stuff. But that's 2 ways that you can skip a massive, I shouldn't say massive, but a very large section of the game that in normal speedruns, you just don't even collect the item that you need to get across, because if you can get across that pit, you don't need the item anywhere else. And that is actually what got me into learning these tricks anyway, because I hated the thing you have to fight in order to get that. And when I learned that you could do a short charge there and get across, I was like, man, I gotta learn how to do this. I'll talk more on a lot of that later. For now, though, we got stuff we can do out here. So, for one, you can Shine Spark up here, which you can get to with the Shine Spark. You have access to this as soon as you have the, technically as soon as you have the power bombs and regular bombs. But the Shine Spark makes it pretty easy to get up here. But unless you know it's here, you may not think to look up here until much later in the game. And it's Power Bomb expansion. So this is kind of a mean room. Because this is acid. It's not even just lava. It's acid. Hurts like a son of a gun. I've also seen it referred to as boiling lava as opposed to the not boiling lava. I call it acid. I think I like acid better. But, on all of the platforms that you have to stand on to not touch the acid, a dude will jump out and stand on him. And if you get close enough, then he jumps out, and then you're like, oh no, I'm standing in the acid, I have to jump back on a platform. But if you have the wave beam, you can just shoot underground and kill them before they pop up. Good stuff. And then from there, this is actually a really interesting trick that I have never been able to really do consistently. And I don't think I even can do now. Like, I've long since forgotten how to do it. But there's something about standing right here, charging up a charge beam, and, like, shooting the beam as you land. It's not right here. It could be in a couple different places around here. But what it does is, with a weird kind of wraparound, it opens a door on the left-hand side of this screen. Which opens this door, which means you just Shine Spark right through the entire next room. I'm gonna go get my health back, because Shine Sparking hurts. Now, an easy way to get back up there is just to do this. So, a way to get up here is by very simply not shine sparking, but speed boosting, and then just jumping up, because when you build up that much speed, you also jump really heckin' high. You can go all the way up here. And if you're just exploring, or maybe even when you find an item much, much later in the game and you're exploring, you may notice this very large, very flat surface is a little suspicious. So you come up here and bomb, and it opens up. Bomb, or speed boost, or do whatever. I got power bombs, and I'm not afraid to use them because this place is kind of butts. The acid is still rising. I don't have a lot of health. These yapping maws are not going to make my life easier. Yeah, there it is. him. I think that's the end of the room. Sure is. And we even get an energy tank for our trouble. If you can bomb jump, you can technically get up here and get this energy tank with only bombs that early. So not kind of a frustrating thing, but not really. I'm an item now. Is you genuinely need bombs in order to do anything in this game. Like, you can't get out of the open area. Like, even with tricks and glitches and things, you can't really even get out of the opening area. Or even if you do, by some miracle, you can't get around the next corner without bombs. So, pretty much every category in this game, even reverse boss order, you have to go kill Bomb Torso first. Hot. Hot. Okay, we're fine. It's nice that there's an enemy generator here, so you can get some health back from all the acid you probably stepped in. So you can get in here, shoot. You find a whole lot of nothing. If you walk too far, though, and this is the kind of butts part, it's a collapsible block. There's one on this side, too. So typically what you'll do, first time coming through here, is you'll just step on that first block and fall down, and if you're quick, you can maybe get one item, but you'll also notice a second item that you can't get. So, the easiest way to do this is to stand between the two, lay a power bomb, jump when you can, and that should open you up so you can get both items. Because all of these are crumble blocks the whole way down. There's no way to break them. They're all crumble blocks, which means if you crumble only down the right-hand side, you can't get the other side. You could, like, bomb and find out that they're crumble blocks, but without approaching from the top, there's nothing you can do. And if you heck up and fall down the bottom, well, these respawn real quick. This is just, I hate this area so much. I mean, it doesn't bother me so much now because I know how to play video games. But, like, boy, as a kid, this was the worst. Now, you come down here, and this down below us looks a little suspicious. You can shoot it, but you may be tempted to powerbomb. Which is kind of nice then, because you kill two of those jumper guys. And then we're right here. Remember this? The duders. And you may have even, specifically because of this, because you can tell even when coming in, there's something a little suspicious looking up there. You may have been inclined to think something suspicious was up there and look for a way up there, and that's that path up top. Where was... I think, was it at the energy tank? That was maybe a little hard to guess. There was something after. I don't know. Doesn't matter. If you don't want to use a power bomb, because these blocks over here are power bomb blocks. If you don't want to do that, this is a crumble block over here. I don't think we have anything else in criteria to worry about. I don't think so. So let's go ahead and work our way down to Brinstar. Brinstar? So, there's no official pronunciation for it. I looked into this earlier. There's no official pronunciation for it, but the general consensus is Brinstar, not Brinstar. But playing this game as a kid, all you've got is the text on the screen and your friggin' childlike brain. So you'll just pronounce it however the heck. And it's not until friggin' the internet came out and existed that people start actually even thinking about stuff like that. Oh, I did a trick up here in order to get down the elevator quickly. I kind of do it by habit. Oh, this is when you're supposed to go in here and get this, by the way. But I did a bit of a trick, because when you stop running, Samus, like, takes a couple steps. Like, now. She takes a couple steps. She's got to slow down. And if you press down... when you're trying to go down like an elevator, usually you'll either like end up angling down or you'll slide past it a little bit. It's kind of hard to... it's kind of hard to like line yourself up perfectly and get it down. Easiest way to do it is you let off your directional button and then immediately press an angle. And you will stop on a dime. So when you get to the elevator, so you just go down. And you're going down the elevator. Now, we saw this idiot before, so let's do something about this. We knew these were power bomb blocks because we saw them earlier. And now we can go down here. That's a gray door. That is a forever gray door. There's also something over here, though. I forget where it is. Ah, there we are. Crumble block. That's an exit. That's fine, though. Come in here to find a whole bunch more of these guys. Give you a lot of power bombs, so I'm going to worry about farming them. That's how you're supposed to kill them. Or that's the easiest way to kill them by far. You can, like, go on the ground, put the bomb down, and you have to, like, you can't just bomb on the ground, you have to put it just a little bit above you. So, yeah, a lot easier. Missile, aim up, fire, kills him. I don't know why it works, but it does, and I'm not going to argue. Now, this may look familiar. If you remember the NES Metroid, there was a room exactly like this, with a fake pit between you and the energy tank. And this is 100% a callback to that room. There is a fake pit there. And if you make the jump, don't forget your super missile. Now, if you do happen to fall down, these are crumble blocks, which means even if you can, like, wall jump or bomb jump or whatever, you can't get back out. And the meanest thing this game does, 100% the meanest thing this game does, is put a save point here. So this small area down here is affectionately called Hell. And it's called that because as a child, everyone came down here. Or not even necessarily as a child. You get new players playing right now. That they'll come down here just trying to explore, they'll save, and be completely unable to get out. Meet our good friends, the Edicoons, who are here trying to teach us how to wall jump. Or triangle jump, I think. I don't remember if the player's guide referred to it as... I think the player's guide referred to it as triangle jumping, but wall jumping, or whatever. But this is where the game is trying to teach you how to do it. And I mentioned before that wall jumping is not something that was super common in games, unless you could, like, slide down a wall like in Mega Man X. And people have so much trouble with the wall jump in Super Metroid. It's actually very easy to execute, but it doesn't work like you expect. You would expect you spin against the wall and then you, like, press jump and you'll go off it. But you don't. You'd think, okay, maybe I press away and jump at the same time. And you don't. Unless you're, like, real lucky and you time it wrong. How the wall jumping in Super Metroid works is actually very simple. All you have to do in order to be able to wall jump is be spinning and have your back within a few pixels of a wall. You can see here, when I turn around, there are a few frames where you see Samus. I'm not hitting any buttons other than just turning away from the wall. There are a few frames where Samus strikes kind of a pose, like she's latching onto the wall. That is your window. While she's making that pose, that's when you jump. It's really that simple, and this is how we wall jumped across the moat. I didn't have to press against the side of the pillar in the middle. I didn't have to turn towards it and press jump to get away from it. Because all you have to do is be spinning and have your back within a few pixels of a wall. As I mentioned, on one frame we were above the pedestal. The next frame we were to the right of the pedestal, facing away from it within a few pixels of it. And within that very small window, you can press jump, and it thinks you're wall jumping. But that's how wall jumping works. As long as you're spinning, you can wall jump forever. You can single wall jump, triangle jump. If you mess up, as long as you're still spinning, you can just keep going. The easiest way to do it is just hit direction, then jump. Ba-bam. Ba-bam. Ba-bop. 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 So, of note is other than you're pressing the directional button away from the wall jump does not actually give you any horizontal momentum. Which means, after you jump from the wall, if you let off the directional button, or say push back against the wall, you just immediately move in that direction. You're not locked into your jump arc at all. And that's what lets you single wall jump. And you can single wall jump unbelievably fast if you're really quick about that. And you can come all the way up here and get a power bomb. Which, if you actually made it to the top, one of the guys hung out up here at the top, and when you got up here, you saw it. I jumped back down, but you saw him. He jumped over into this little nook, going, hey, there's something over here. Now, the thing is with this area is if you just roll right out, you will fall back down. You don't have enough speed to make that gap, and then you have to wall jump up again. And when you don't know how to wall jump, it's a death sentence. Being down here, you save there, that's effectively a soft lock. Like, you can't get out. So, that's why this area is so notorious. And falling back down and having, when you finally, miraculously made your way out of this pit, that's mean. If you could do a mochball, though, even the slightest mochball will actually get you across this gap. And if you go back over here, this actually leads us out the gray door that we saw earlier. And one nice thing is if you can't make it all the way up, if you can wall jump once and get here, it takes you here. And there's the gray door that we would have gotten in otherwise. Aw, man. And that's how you get out of that mess. With Power Bomb. And now we know how to wall jump. Oh, so this is where, I think I ran too fast before, but this is where you can get these guys just on the edge of the screen and they don't attack you. now we have the speed booster, and then we're bomb blocks, so we can just go, yeah, oh, heck. Really nice, very, very small touch. When you're falling a very long distance like that, you can actually see little, like, speed particles coming off of Samus. So nice. There's a speed booster blocks up top, so we can't get up there. So this is where we run into our next friend, whose name escapes me, who teaches us how to Shine Spark. And because Shine Sparking takes energy, there's even an energy recharge over here. So Shine Sparking is fun, because all you have to do is run real fast to build up your speed boost, and then press down. And not fail. And press the button too late. And then press down. And then once you're in this flashing phase, that's when you're holding onto a Shine Spark. At that point, if you let off the D-pad, you can press the jump button, and Samus will, for a very brief moment, enter a phase where she's kind of floating in the air, getting her feet ready, like kind of kicking in the air a little, and while she's doing that, you can press a direction. And you can go up, you can go right, you can go diagonal, you can Shine Spark in any direction as long as you get into that. If you're holding a directional input before you hit jump, then you just immediately do that. So you don't go into that phase, you just hold up, hit jump, and you shoot off like a rocket straight up. But you can also go diagonal and even sideways. Kind of like that. And now our friend got out. Well, didn't get out. Now, something I didn't mention is that you can do some more complicated things with Shine Sparking. For one, if you hit the jump button, you will do your Shine Spark. However, you can still spin jump. Which is how, of course, we got over the ledges in order to cross the moat. And if you can break out of your spin, I did it there by pressing a directional button. You can even Shine Spark in midair. Now, one of the hardest things that I'm still wrapping my head around is doing a horizontal midair Shine Spark. I think the problem is that I keep forgetting to let off jump. Nope. But I did the little kick in the air, so I may have been able to do a horizontal one from that. Doesn't matter, not important. Did I free him? Oh, heck yeah! Where are you? Oh no. Oh, there you are. No, come back! Oh, because you're going off the ledge, and you don't know... I am surprised this thing even knows how to handle, like, corners and ledges and stuff. I'm so sorry I freed you. That's okay, they'll be back when you leave the room. So the last thing about Shine Sparking and speed boosting that I want to talk about is the short charge. So the short charge is... Let's get back down on the bottom because I think we can see our feet better down here. Not really, but whatever. So the short charge is done because when you're building up a speed boost, it actually only checks on 4 very specific frames if you are running in order to increment your speed boost. which means you can build up a speed boost by only pressing the run button 4 times for 1 frame each press. And then that lets you build up a speed boost almost not having ran at all. It's from a stand. The second step that Samus takes is the first check. It happened like right around here. It's only a couple blocks after where you start moving. That's the first check. The next check is approximately the same distance, like it's about here. I'm pretty sure it's always about the same. Well, no, it does get a little faster. I cannot do anything with the short charge beyond the first press. I'm just not practiced enough in it. And honestly, I'm really bad at like frame precise inputs and timing like that anyway. But you can build up a short charge in, like, here. I'll start by holding run and now running. Right here. So this is where I built it up. Approximately 2 full screen widths in order to get there. Now, alternatively, close but not quite. That was here that I did it. Which is... That was like a screen and a half that you saved by doing that short charge. Just by pressing run slightly after you start moving, instead of holding run before you start moving. If you do the complete all 4 presses, you can get it in an even shorter time. Just a little bit over 1 screen. And now the hilarious thing is, in order to keep moving, and for the game to think Samus is continually running or moving forward, you don't even have to press the directional button every frame. I haven't practiced this at all, but... And yet I'm almost doing it! What you want is a very nice, smooth running animation from Samus. Not that. You want a nice, smooth running animation from Samus, but she's clearly not moving at full speed. And doing that, you can build up a short charge in an even smaller amount of space. You can get it down with tools and frame-perfect inputs. You can build up a full speed boost in a little under 1 screen's width. Crazy. So I'm gonna get my energy back. Now that we've had our full lesson on shine sparking, we can use our newfound knowledge. We can return her. I think it's a her. She has an egg. We can use our newfound knowledge to explore depths that we've not explored before. Plenty of items around here to get. And by plenty, I mean just a small handful. We have power bombs, so we can go in here now. But you may first jump down here. And if you bum around, you'll eventually discover that this is open. And inside is painful, guys. These guys hurt so much. That's real suspicious. I shot a super missile. It's a super missile block. If you bomb it, you'll see what it is. And you get a power bomb. So this gate over here, you can either shoot or bomb or do whatever with, and it goes away. If you can't morph in midair, the game never expects you to morph in midair. The game, even though it teaches you how to wall jump, it never expects you to wall jump. And I think that's part of why I'm completely fine with wall jumping being kind of difficult, aside from maybe getting out of the Atacoon's chamber, because it's left as kind of a higher skill thing. Like, you get good enough at the game, you practice, you learn things about the game, and suddenly you can start doing cool things you couldn't otherwise do, and you wouldn't necessarily be able to do in your first casual playthrough. And what's crazy about Super Metroid is how, with almost no tips or tricks or anything, you can beat the game. But the game also has an insanely high skill ceiling. I know so much, and I'm so practiced on this game, and I'm miles from that ceiling. So if you can't do that, though, then you can either shoot down here or bomb down there, and this will raise you up. Like, the first thing you'll probably try to do is bomb jump up there. And that bomb will do that. And then there's this yellow door over here. A lot of guys in here we should kill. And now this is my favorite trick in the game. Hands down my favorite trick in the game. So I was trying with this setup earlier, which is my usual setup, and I wasn't having much luck with it. So I'll try it a few times here, and if that doesn't work, we'll try a different one. But what you get here is you'll see there's a blue gate up here. Now, if you get here with the wave beam, which technically we're not supposed to have right now, you can just shoot the gate open. But if you don't have the wave beam, well, you still want to get in there. And, of course, you technically are supposed to have something here, but we can wall jump, so we don't need it. So if you want to get in there anyway, what you do is you go here, just barely on this platform. Yeah, I think that was the setup, and it's still not working. So I'll give it another 1 or 2 tries. And then we'll try the other setup. If I don't hit the block. I said don't hit the block. Yeah, let's just try down here. So this is the other setup. You just kind of back yourself into this corner. Oh, first try. And that gets you up here. So this is how this trick works is crazy. This is an almost useless trick, but I love it. It's my favorite trick in the game. I always think there's something extra in this room hidden, but there's not. There's just the energy tank. I always think, like, there's a missile here or something, but there's not. So how this trick works is, in order to save on memory, of course, not everything in the game is loaded and functional at all times. Right now, that gate is unloaded, because it's a sprite, it's not part of the tile map. And because it's unloaded, right now, technically, I can fire a missile, and it will go through the gate, because there's no gate there. So what you do is back yourself in the corner, jump and fire the super missile, which thankfully you have the block up there in order to help guide your shot. You want to kind of edge your shot right under that block. And what that will do is, and you have to use a super missile because its speed is important. What that will do is it'll get the super missile to go up and past the gate. But you're jumping, and when your jump gets high enough, and you get close enough to the gate loads in. And this setup works so that the gate loads in when the super missile is already on the other side of the gate, and in the very small space available in order to hit the switch that opens the gate. So cool. I get to show you guys so many cool things today. This is going to be kind of a longer video, but this is going to be the learn the tips and tricks of Super Metroid. Okay, so last time we hopped up here, but we didn't have power bombs, and now we do. These things again. If you don't have the Varia suit, these things do an entire energy tank. And you run up against a dead end. Well, that's not right. And we're back in classic, Brinstar. Classic Brinstar. So, like, this area's gotta be connected to the other area, right? Right. Sure is. But what about over here? Oh. Sure is. So there's a couple items we can get down here. So I do not remember the setup for it, but if you come here without high jump boots, so you don't have high jump boots yet, remember that energy tank in the ceiling? You can damage boost off of this guy. I forget the setup for it. I think you have to jump over him the first time, and then you open that up, and then you get him on the back end of it. Because without the high jump boots, you'll, like, linger in the air and go, bam, and then, like, damage boost up there. I think that's how it works. I forget how to damage boost, though, but that's how you're supposed to do that. And then what about this mess? Ooh. Going way up there, right? So you're obviously not supposed to do this, but you can. And that up there is just a regular breakable block. What you're supposed to do is with the power bomb, you've blown up the whole bottom and then you shine spark up here. But you don't have to. Oh, now that we're up here, by the way, I'm going to take high jump boots off because it's important. And then I'm going to run and jump into this room at the last, almost the last frame, and I should land right up here. And this is what is affectionately called the Billy Mays room. Because you get your missile, but wait, there's more. So you're technically not supposed to be able to get what's up here for quite some time. There's an invisible platform here. There's an item we'll get later on that will let us see what these blocks are, or see that they are here. And of course, this is water, which you almost can't get out of. Which is why once you're in this room, there's no way that you can actually get out and get up top. You have to jump from the previous room without high jump boots in order to make it on top of the platform. Not something that's intended. You're supposed to be able to both A, get in here and go, what do you do? And then you look around and you see the blocks. And you're supposed to be able to move in water, neither of which that we can do. And this is great. Oh, do I have high jump boots on? Help if I had them on. There we go. So if you ever see me... You just saw me duck jump there? Like I ducked in the corner and then jumped from that? For whatever reason, duck jumping actually puts you just a few pixels higher than a regular jump. Like the peak of your jump is just a few pixels higher than your normal jump. I don't know why. But it is. So we could go back down, because we've done pretty much all there is to do, but there's one or two more things to get this way, and that'll probably wrap us up for today. As a kid, I had such an unbelievably difficult time jumping across these. I would just do this every time. Just jump straight down here. Just do this. Because I can't stay on platforms. Now this here is an item that you may have trouble with. Because this is breakable. If you don't know this is here, or just scour literally everything, this is going to be one of the harder items to find. But it's nice, though, because a lot of the items that are just, I think I mentioned this before, a lot of the items that are just unbelievably difficult to find are more often than not just like a missile expansion or something. So you may beat the game without every item, but that just makes... But you can still beat the game fine, and that just means you have to go looking real hard to find those last few. Encourages exploration! Good stuff! Anyway, this is another one you may have trouble finding. Your only real hint is that there's only 2 spots in this entire tower, one here and one at the very top, that has a tiny platform like this just against the outside edge. And if you bomb there, it lets you in, and you get a power bomb door. And going in here, we have acid, we have these idiots. And this is actually kind of hard to do fast enough because you break out, because they break out of their freeze real fast. If you do this, you shine spark up, you're good. Get yourself a super missile. Now you're supposed to have something to get back across, which we don't. So we're just gonna do this. It's a gray door, it will never not be gray. Oh, now that this room is full of space pirates, I can't really do it, but I think I figured out how to come through the bottom with Moonfall. Well, anyway, we have to climb this for like the 20th time. Now, I'm not going to waste everybody's time by trying yet again. But that'll do it for today. There's nothing left for us up here. So we can just save. And say until next time, everyone, when we go where we're supposed to go. We've about cleared up everything else.